Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 13 of What If Naruto was neglected by everyone. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends in social media platform, and also stay in tune because after this I'm going to be giving you a new episode of What If Naruto returned different after his training trip. So stay in tune for that and I hope you guys enjoy. And over on Anime King 2, I post a new episode of What If Naruto is a Vampire, so go ahead and check that out and enjoy. And on this channel, I post a new episode of What If Naruto is from the two greatest clans, so go ahead and check that out and enjoy as well guys. And also later on over on Anime King 2, I'm going to be posting What If Aizuna Uchiha was Naruto's ancestor, so stay in tune for that and I hope you guys enjoy as well. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you're hearing my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support guys, and yeah, without further ado, let's begin this new episode. Start the intro.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails.
So, the last time we left off, things has gotten really bad for Minato, as Kushina has been cursing at him very badly lately, as it had gotten to the point where she had started to attack him, and he dodged her attacks, as it was getting really bad, as he didn't know how they were going to recover from this. Her find out that he was behind the entire Uchiha massacre, he was the one that allowed it to happen, as she was really pissed, and she was also upset at him for what happened to Naruto. Even though she was also involved in it, she blamed him for everything. But she knew that it was all of their faults why Naruto is gone now. As Sasuke left the village, a group was sent after him. Naruto got the information from Zetsu about Sasuke as he headed off. When Naruto arrived there, Sasuke just burst out of the coffin as Mito and Narumi were there. They tried to attack and stop Naruto, but neither of them couldn't even lay a finger on him, as Kakashi arrived just in the nick of time. As Kurenai arrived as well, as she wanted to make Naruto pay for what he did, for what he did to Kiba, putting him in the hospital for so long, for everything that he did to the village, all of the numerous people that he killed. She wanted to make him pay, as she flat out attacked him. But Kurenai soon come to realize that she was no match for him. He was not even using the Susanoo, as Naruto went through one hand-in-hand side as his hands was coated in flame as he drove it through her stomach, as Kakashi quickly grabbed her and pulled her away, as both Mito and Narumi started to do the basic medical ninjutsu on her, as Naruto let Sasuke go as well and told him that soon, when he get the power that he deserves, he will find him, but not now because Sasuke is too weak. Sasuke didn't protest about anything, he just passed Naruto and headed off. As Naruto was then called by Nagato, as Nagato was pissed at Naruto for stop showing his face, stop showing up the appearance of the Akatsuki, but Naruto told him that he wasn't even wearing the Akatsuki robes. No one even knew that he was a part of the Akatsuki yet. No one even knew a lot about this group yet, so he should just be quiet about it, as Nagato really hated Naruto's disrespectful behavior, like he was beyond and above everything. But for now, Nagato will just have to go with it, seeing that he was Madara's protege after all. But Naruto will calm himself for now, as he will have to keep out of the spotlight, let the world think he's gone, and he will focus on Liz and Menma's training and also getting stronger as well. We then skip back to Minato's office, as Minato was at loss, he didn't know what to do now. Things were really messed up, as Danzo entered his office and told him that he has a proposition for him. So yeah guys, that was basically the last part we left off. You guys answered your cosplays and check it out for yourself, so let's start this new episode. It has been 3 months since everything happened. The root program was putting back into commission, as Minato allowed Danzo to start back his route. After the little talk, Minato was convinced by Danzo that they needed root at this very moment. Naruto was out of the village, and he has shown that he has the power to destroy and level the village. Other nations will think they are weak, thinking that one boy could just come and destroy the entire place. So the root was needed, as Minato accepted Root back into the village. He didn't even talk to the other council members, he just accepted it. And most of the other council members were angry. Even though he was a Hokage, he didn't even talk to them one bit. Things were still completely rocky with him and his entire family. It was like they weren't even living together anymore. When he wake up early in the morning, she wouldn't be there, as she was sleeping in one of the separate bedrooms. When he came home at night, she wouldn't be there. She would always be in her bedroom or something, or she would be out with Mito and Narumi, talking or doing something else. Usually he always came home with a well-prepared dinner, and things were great, and all of them usually eat on the table, but now, he was the only one, as Minato has been feeling really sad and depressed lately. Jiraiya has tried his best to convince them to talk back to him, but things were completely still rocky, as Kushina forbid to even look at him, even though she knew that it was greatly her fault. Why, Naruto is this way as well, but for him to wipe out, making Itachi wipe out the entire Uchiha clan, she still hasn't forgiven for that, and she still blames him that it was mostly his fault why Naruto is this way. If it wasn't for him worrying about these stupid people of Konoha betraying their son for the people that like him, then none of this would have ever happened. As Jiraiya tried his best, but he failed. Tsunade also tried to talk to her, but she also failed. And Mito and Narumi were still pissed, but they were talking to their father still, even though they were angry, as they had witnessed Naruto in the Valley of the End, and they know that he has gone down a dark path. Even though they still have the hope that they can save him, they saw that it was all their fault, but Kushina didn't see that. She blamed most of it on Minato, even though that she was to blame as well. And when they will talk to her about that, she will get angry and she will just leave. Things were really rocky, and the two girls were sad and depressed all the time, thinking that their family are going to be split up, and they could never recover from this. We currently have Minato, as he was sitting at the table, and to his surprise tonight, the entire table was filled, as he came home, expecting to be all alone again, but dinner was on the table. A good cooked meal, along with his two daughters and his wife. As Minato had sit down without saying anything, he finally took in a deep breath. "What is this?" he said, as he looked at them. As Kushina looked at him, as she then looked back at the food. "It has been 3 months," she said. 3 months and things have gone on this bad. It's time that we change that. He looked at her with hoping in his eyes, as he couldn't believe it. Things were really going to return back to normal? "I think we should start becoming a family once more," she said, as a big smile came on his face. "I'm glad," he said, as he wiped away a small tear. He has been going through a lot since these past 3 months, and hearing those words come from her. He then looked at Mito and Narumi, as the both of them gave him a smile, as they looked back at their mother and smiled as well. Things were really looking up for the family, so they sat there and they eat. Some of the time it was awkward silence, but they talked to each other. After everything was over, both Mito and Narumi went to their room, as Minato got up. As he walked up to Kushina, as she was still sitting down, he wrapped his arms around her in the chair, but to his surprise she slapped away his arms. As she then got up and looked at him with a very harsh glare. "What is that for?" he asked. "You really think that I've forgiven you?" she said. "What?" he said, confused. "The only reason why I said that we should stop this and become a family again, it was because of Mito and Narumi. I found the both of them crying in their room, and it breaks my heart to see them like that. So I won't allow them to suffer through all of this, because you and I are not in a stable relationship right now." Hearing that broke Minato's heart. So all of this was just a pretend? He thought to himself. He then looked at Kushina. Was all of this just an act? "Just to make sure that the girls are okay, I will do anything," she said. "I won't let any of them go down a dark path. I will be there for them." What you have done is still on my mind, and I have not forgiven you, she said. What I done? What I have done? You are just to blame as me, he said. It doesn't matter, she said. I thought about it. Things wouldn't have turned out that bad if it was for you. He would have still be here. Things wouldn't have been in this position right now. But you chose the village. You always do. Always choosing the village over your family. And now look what happened. This is because of you. I know that I have done wrong to Naruto as well. I know that he probably hates me right now. But I'll try my best. I'll try with my damn hardest to make him forgive me. I will try everything. Because I want him back in my life. He is my son, my only son. And I won't watch him go down this path. I will stop him and get him to return back to our side. But as for you, she said, looking at him, I don't know how you will get redemption, but I just pray you do. You really wish that, he said. Huh, she said. Because in my mind, I think that you want me to be cut out of everything. I see it now, said Minato. You want Naruto to blame me for all of this. So, if he does return back to the village, all of them will be on your side, and me taking all of the blame, like I'm a horrible person. You are, she said, as she then lowered her tone. You. All of them. You made Itachi kill his entire clan. I can't even imagine what Itachi is going through. Even if he might hide it well, he is still going through a lot. He slaughtered his entire clan for Konoha. It's because he's just like you, Minato. He's just like you. The both of you will do anything to protect this damn village. And I'm sick and tired of that. I know this place is my home. I know this place is close to me. My friends are here. But I would never put this place over my family. My family is my family. But you and Itachi, it doesn't seem like you guys know that. You put this village over everything. And look what the place is now. Sasuke has run away. He has probably gone to Orochimaru as we all thought. And now, what will happen to him? He's gonna seek vengeance. After hearing what Naruto said you did, he's gonna come after you. And therefore come after Mito and Narumi as well, wanting payback against you. He's gonna make them suffer just to make sure you pay. And I will be hell if I allow him to hurt my daughters. And that is where I will have to make a tough choice, she said. Because I won't let him touch either of them. And if it comes to it, I'm gonna kill him, she said. As Minato looked at her as he wasn't even speaking, she then got up. I still haven't forgiven you. Because every time I think about it, more and more you're just putting our life and our kids' life in danger. And I'm sick of it, she said as she got up and started to walk away. As Minato slumped back down on the chair, as he closed his eyes, as tears started to flow, he was in a lot of pain mentally right now. He was seeing things lately. Most of it was all his fault for the truth. Most of it was his fault. He did wrong by this village. No, he did wrong by his son. By putting this village over his own son and letting them treat him like garbage while he just walked away and let his son suffer. And who knows now what Naruto is planning to do. Meanwhile, a far distance away, in the land of Frost, there was a 2-story house. Inside was Liz and Menma. As the both of them were sitting on the couch, watching TV, Naruto is setting up everything. All of the money that they got from Gato, the time they destroyed his base, all of that Naruto had took it and sealed it in a scroll. And all of this renovation, the man of this village, the leader of the land of Frost, his name was Cole, and Naruto was backing him from behind the scenes. As Cole kept his mouth shut to anything Naruto might do or bring into this village, seeing that Naruto basically owned this place, seeing that he is funding this place. But this is not a permanent home for them. Naruto is just letting them lie low here, and they can do their trading and get stronger, seeing that there was a good amount of forest area around this path, and there was also a clearing there that was wonderful for training. Meanwhile, outside in a tree, Naruto was sitting down, as he was looking through the latest bingo book. His name has been plastered in the bingo book so far. Kumo and Konoha wants him. As he looked on the report, there was a full description of him, his name and everything, from Konoha. But he is to be brought back alive, and you will get the reward. Not dead. It seems like his family still think there is a way to save him. As Naruto shook his head at that, but for Kumo, they want him back dead or alive. As Naruto has taken the two-tailed Nibi, and they won't just settle for that. The Raikage is really starting to get on his nerve. 2 weeks ago, he was attacked by a squad from Kumo. He defeated all of them, but then a week ago he was attacked again from another squad from Kumo. It seems that they're really after him. And not to mention, when he's walking around the nation, the multiple bounty hunters and missing names trying to capture him, all thinking that they can do that and bring him back to either Konoha or Kumo. As Naruto wasn't about to hide his appearance, even though he's not been showing up in the world, he is still out there. Lucky thing that Naruto has been behind the scenes from Cole operation here, as Cole was able to stop any spies from harboring in this village that may be linked to Jiraiya's spy network. As Naruto didn't want to move from this place yet, he still had things to do. He still had training to deal with. Suddenly, a lot of papers start to appear as they flew from a distance away, as they start to form, as Conan formed right in front of him. "Why hello there," Naruto said, as Conan was standing on top of the tree. "Naruto, I came here for your assistance," she said. "My assistance? In what?" "Gathering other members of the Akatsuki." "New members? And who might that be?" Naruto asked. "His name is Hidan. He's an immortal." "A what?" Naruto said. "Yes, he's immortal. From his strange rituals with Jashin." "Oh, he's a worshipper of that religion," Naruto said, "to sacrifice to gain immortality." "But do we really need that guy?" said Naruto. "Huh?" said Conan. "Well, I heard those guys are really crazy." "We will need him, the leader does." "Why do you call him the leader?" Naruto said. As Conan narrowed her eyes at him, but she didn't say anything. "You know, he's not the real leader. Madara is." "Madara was not the one to start the Akatsuki," she said, with disdain in her voice, as Naruto noticed that. As he looked at her, "What is it?" she said. "Well, you don't really like him that much, do you?" But she didn't say anything. "Alright, fine. Don't bother giving me the silent treatment. So where is this guy?" "He's not too far from here. That is why I came for your assistance," she said. "Alright then, sure. Just stay right here." He then hopped off the tree and went in the house, as he told both Liz and Menma that he will be back soon. He's gonna take care of some business. As he then came back outside. "Alright, let's go," he said, as the both of them dashed to the bushes. It took a good 30 minutes for them to find Hidan, as he was resting on a stone, with his scythe in his hands, as he was dressed rather unusual. As Naruto looked at him, "So this is the guy, huh?" As Naruto jumped down from the tree and landed on his feet, as Conan floated down beside him. "You know, you should really start wearing the robe," Conan said. "Huh? The Akatsuki robe?" Before he could say anything else, "Who the hell are you guys?" said Hidan, as Naruto turned towards him. It doesn't matter. How about I turn you guys into sacrifice for Jashin? Trust me, it will be the great privilege of your life." "That's not what we're here for," said Naruto as he stepped forward. "We're here because we want you to join us." "Join you? And why the hell would I do that?" Hidan asked. "Well, we're from an organization called the Akatsuki," Naruto said. "And we want you on our side, Hidan. You will bring us one step closer in achieving our plans." Hidan scratched his chin in a very sarcastic manner. "Screw that! Your stupid organization won't bring me any closer to gaining my true purpose, to becoming the #1 worshipper of Jashin. I will complete his goal through all of this nation. I will sacrifice until I cannot sacrifice enough to make Jashin proud," he said. As Naruto shook his head, "As I said, people like you are really crazy." As the moment those words left his lip, Hidan was upon him in seconds, with his sight already up in the air. As Conan stood there, waiting to see how Naruto would react. As Naruto simply twists his body as the sight dig into the ground. Naruto then slammed his fist into Hidan's stomach, pushing him back, but Hidan's dig his sight into the ground, stopping his momentum from going any further. He smirked. He then threw his sight towards Naruto as Naruto ducked under it. As Hidan pulled the cord, as Naruto kicked up his leg and kicked the sight right in the center, stopping it in mid-spin. As Naruto pulled 3 kunais from his pouch and threw it towards Hidan. As Hidan smirked as he pulled out a metal pipe and blocked all of them. He then pulled on the rope as the last blade sliced Naruto on the shoulder. As Hidan smirked as he stabbed himself with the pipe, as his blood leaked on the ground. As he then started to use his feet to create a symbol on the ground, his own blood. As he then licked the blood off of his sight and smirked. I told you were going to be sacrifice of Jashin. And now, become one with him, he said, as he stabbed himself right through the heart with a pipe. As Naruto coughed up blood. As Hidan chuckled madly. As Naruto dropped on his knees and collapsed dead. As Konan then rushed forward, as Hidan sliced her in half, as her body fell to the ground. As he just chuckled, "Stupid Akatsuki," he said, as he started to walk off. "Hey, where do you think you're going?" said a voice, as Hidan stopped in his tracks. As he turned to see Naruto resting on a tree, with Konan still standing there. But Naruto's eyes were different. They weren't red, just fully red. They had some weird tomos in them. As he noticed that he had heard about that. "Those are the Sharingans," he said. As he smacked his head. Was this all an illusion? As he looked, there was no body on the ground. The symbol was still on the ground. As his sight was a few feet away from him. "What just happened?" he said, looking around. "It seems like you're skilled in hand-to-hand combat and moving fast with that sight of yours. But when it comes to chakra or powers or illusion, you're really lacking in that state. Now, it seems like your immortality is great. But there's one big down flaw," Naruto said. "Huh? And what is that?" Hidan said. "Well, if I slice you up into little pieces and bury you." "That is not much of a living," Naruto said. "Well then, I guess I can't allow you to do that," Hidan said as he moved back a bit. "I am not here to fight," said Naruto. "I told you." As Konan then stepped forward, "We are here to bring you into the Akatsuki." "This Akatsuki thing," he said. "What is it exactly?" "It is a group made out of S-class missing names. And we want you a part of that group to make our plans a success. What about my sacrifices?" "On the way on your missions, you can sacrifice as much as you wish," said Naruto, as Konan narrowed her eyes at him. "Yeah," Naruto said. "You can still do your Jashin thing and be a part of the group. You will even have more people to sacrifice because there will be a lot of battle. And come on, don't tell me that doesn't get you excited," Naruto said. As Hidan smirked. "Fine, I'll join your little stupid group," he said, with a smirk on his face. "Good," Naruto said. Some hours later, Hidan was introduced to the group, as Konan was back with Nagato. "How did he perform?" Nagato said. "He really didn't show much," she said to him. "The most he used was a genjutsu." "Damn it," said Nagato. "Why are you so angry about that?" she asked. "This kid, something just telling me that he's different. I have my doubts about Madara, about him. This kid, he's planning something. He's doing something and I don't know what it is. And I don't believe it's in the best for the Akatsuki. So what should we do?" asked Konan. "Just keep an eye on him for now. If he makes any move, I will terminate him. Because it doesn't matter how strong he is. He cannot face a god," said Nagato. "Meanwhile, where have you been?" said Liz as Naruto entered the room. "Sorry about that. I guess I got sidetracked." "Hey, what did you do today?" asked Menma. "Well, we gather a new member for the Akatsuki." "Huh? And who is that?" Menma asked. "A guy named Hidan, and hear this, he's immortal." "Whoa, really?" Liz said. "So he can't die?" "Well, you see, there's a huge side effect of that," Naruto said. "And what is that?" Menma asked. "Well, if you slice him up into little pieces, he cannot reform himself, So he will be stuck like that forever. Well, that would be crazy, said Liz. Being stuck like that for eternity. And seeing your body just wither away like that. Whoa, that's weird. I'm glad I'm not immortal. Well, it's not like anyone is gonna have the chance to hurt you, Naruto said. Remember, I'm gonna be there to protect you, me and Menma. So don't worry about that. You guys aren't gonna be there every time. And by the way, I don't want to rely on you guys so much. So, my training, she said. I want to become stronger. I want to be able to protect you guys as well. As Naruto smiled and ruffled her hair. Don't worry. In due time, you will become as strong as you can be, he said. What? I want to become strong now, she said. Don't rush, Naruto said. We all will get more stronger. Time skip. The next day, Minato was currently in his office with Jiraiya. What? Said Minato. Yeah. If they're going to face him in the future, they will need some extra boosts. Right now things aren't really looking too good for you right now, if I must say, said Jiraiya, as Minato sighed as he wiped his hand across his face. Things are really rough back home, he said. So you think this will help? Yeah, I will get them out of the village. Give you and Kushina some time to reconnect. I will train them to my best of my ability and make sure they come back strong enough to protect themselves and hold their own against him if he do come back, seeing that we haven't get any information on him since the past 3 months. I think you're right, said Minato. Getting him out of the village right now so me and Kushina can sit down and talk through our problems would probably be the best thing to do. So when can you take them, he asks. Well, I have to talk to them about this first. I will go check with them right now, he said. I'll be back soon. As he jumped through the window and headed off, suddenly a black crow flew through the window as it landed on the decks. As Minato narrowed his eyes at the crow, knowing who exactly this was from, as the crow had a note on his back. As Minato took it, as the crow then poofed away. As Minato unsealed it, as he read it, his eyes went wide as he couldn't believe what he was reading. Meanwhile, at the Namikaze household, really? Said Mito. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, it is, said Narumi. Well, 3 years is going to be a long time away from everyone here. But, if you can make us stronger, of course we will go, she said. Of course I will make you guys stronger, said Jiraiya. I am one of the legendary Sanis after all, he said. Hey mom, what do you think about this? Asked Mito as she looked towards Kushina. Kushina just gave her a smile. I think this is a wonderful idea, for you guys to get stronger, she said. Jiraiya, make sure you take care of my kids. Of course I will. Alright then, I'll inform your father, said Jiraiya. I'll walk you out, said Kushina, as the both of them walked towards the door. As he then turned towards her, she then pushed him against the wall as she was glaring at him angrily. What the hell are you thinking, she asked. Huh? Said Jiraiya confused. You want to take my girls away from me now? What's wrong with you, she said. Don't you know the dangers lurking out there? But you seem alright with it. I just wanted to make them happy. I am not alright with it. Was this Minato's idea, she said. Does he want to take my girls away now? No, it was my idea. For them to get stronger just in case Naruto return, so they can defend themselves. As Kushina clenched her fists. I know what you're doing. You think by doing this, leaving me alone with Minato for 3 long years, that we will become happy again together. But no, it won't. I am still angry at him no matter what he does. That is why you guys need to spend some time together, thinking about things and getting through this problem. If you don't, it will be bad for the girls. Don't bring my girls into this. I have tried my best so far to try and get them out of it. To try and make them see that their mother and father are still on good talking terms, even though it pains me to just talk to him like that. And that is why you need the girls out, said Jiraiya. You need to tell Minato everything that's on your heart. You need to explain everything to him, how you feel, and that is the only way you guys can have some chance of getting over this. As Kushina sighed as she lowered her head. When did you become so smart on these things, she asked. A lot of research, he said, as she then glared at him. My girls are gonna tell me what you guys did on that training trip. Make sure you don't take them to any of those disgusting places. I would never, he said. As she cracked her knuckles, if you do, I'll make sure that you live to regret it, she said. as Jiraiya gulped. Time skip a day later. As currently Minato was hugging both Mito and Narumi. You guys stay safe, okay? Jiraiya, make sure to take care of them. They're gonna be completely fine, come on. I'm not a Sanin for nothing, he said. I'll keep my eye on them to make sure that they're fine, he said. As both girls then break the hug with Minato. As they walked over to Kushina. Mom, they said, as they hugged their mother. Everything's gonna be fine. You guys, just get as strong as you can be. Yeah, we will, said Mito, as Narumi smiled with a determined look on her face. And when we do, we will get him back. We will bring Naruto back and we will bring our family to 100% again, along with Menma and Liz. All of us will be together. Hearing that, Kushina smiled, as she looked over at Minato to see him giving her a soft smile. As she just looked at him, but she didn't frown or anything this time. She just smiled back at him, as hearing those thoughts that her children had made her really happy, as she wanted Naruto back and Menma and Liz as well, for their family to be 100% again and stop all of this nonsense. It will take a long, difficult time to do that, but she is sure that she can somehow convince Naruto that there's some way for him to return back to the village. As she wants him back, she wants to be the right mother that she could be, as she will no longer put him aside from anything. She will never put this village over him, never again. And she wanted to see him and tell him that. She wanted him to come back home. Come on, let's go. We have a long trip ahead of us, said Jiraiya, as the both of them nodded. See ya, Mom and Dad, the both of them said, as Kushina and Minato smiled at them. As Minato then turned to Kushina as they left sight. As Kushina turned back to him. Let's go, he said. Let's go where? To the training field. Why would we go to a training field, she asked him. Because it's time you work out all your anger and all of your rage on me. I deserve each and everything you have to throw at me. So let's go. Kushina looked at him as he started to walk off, as she clenched her fists, as she wouldn't give up the opportunity to release some of her pain on him. And right here we're going to have a major time skip. 3 years later, we begin this at the hideout, where Madara first took Naruto, as two large fireballs were tearing through the sky coming down. As on the ground was Liz. She has grown over the past 3 years, a bit taller, but not as much has changed. As Liz saw the two giant fireballs collide together, as the both of them fused as they got bigger in size, as the one large fireball came down towards her. As Liz stood there, she took a deep breath in and then out, as she speed through hand sign, fire style. Red streaming flame, she said, as she spewed out red flames from her mouth, as her red flame collided with the fireball. But the giant fireball was pushing back at her, but Liz then pushed forward as her red flame consumed the fireball, as there was a huge dust and debris that picked up. As Liz stood there completely unfazed. It seems you have gotten a lot stronger, said a voice. As Liz then had to duck, dodging a sword swipe, as she aimed to kick away the person's leg, but the person jumped in the air. Liz then smirked as she slammed her fist right into the person's stomach, but the person substituted with a log at the last second as her fist break through the log. Liz then quickly jumped up in the air as she speed through hand sign, lightning style. Lightning shower, she said, as lightning tackled from her fingertips, striking the ground, destroying it, but the person already vanished. He's right, you know, said another voice. As Liz spun around, she then had to dodge a huge water dragon coming towards her, as she flipped back, but the moment she did, she hit something. Something then grabbed her arm and twisted, but Liz twisted her body and jumped up in the air as she brought up her leg and aimed to kick the person in his face, but he raised his arm and grabbed her feet. But she then smirked as she poofed away. Clone, he said. The ground then broke open as Liz emerged, as she landed a devastating punch right into the person's stomach that sent him flying back, as he flipped in mid-air and landed on his feet. You have gotten really stronger, he said, as Liz smirked. Is that enough, she asked. Yeah, I think it is, said Menma, as he was holding his stomach. as he shrugged off the punch as she gave him. As she then turned, "What about you?" she said, as she turned to see Naruto, who was standing on top of the cliff. As he was looking down at them, all of them has grown in the past 3 years, as they have gotten taller. Not much has changed in the past 3 years. Things have gone smoothly. Naruto has been keeping out of the spotlight, as no one at Konoha had heard any news about him. Even with the root agents searching, none of them were able to find him. The Akatsuki's are finally ready to put their plan in motion and start collecting all of the tail beasts. They already have 3 in their progress if you count Naruto, as they just need 6 more. As Naruto jumped down as he landed beside Liz. "Yeah, you have gotten stronger," Naruto said. "Well, all of us have. We have been training for 3 long years." "Today is the day," said Menma as he walked up beside Naruto. "The both of them are going to be coming back home." "Yeah, I know. Zetsu has been keeping tabs on them. It seems that Jiraiya has been training them hard in these past 3 years for them to have some kind of chance of facing me and bringing me back to the village. But I doubt it," he said. Meanwhile, at Konoha, we skipped in Namikaze residence, as clothes and things were all over the room. It seems like a struggle was happening here, but it wasn't, as we have 2 exhausted people lying in bed. The both of them were covered by the sheets, as the both of them were giggling to each other, as it was Minato and Kushina. The both of them had rekindled their relationship, as things were rough for the year. But after they got past the hard part, they started to open up to each other, and Minato swore to tell her everything, and to never do something like this again, as he told her he promised that he would try his best to get Naruto back to the village, and he will fix back their family. "Hey, today's the day the girls are coming back," said Kushina, as she quickly got out of the bed. As Minato smiled. "Like what you see?" she said that smiled back. "Of course I do," he said. "How about we go another round?" "What? What if the girls come and catch us? They won't be back so early," he said. "Come on," he said, as he started to move towards her, as she giggled. As she came towards the bed to sigh. "Fine, you know I spoil you too much," she said, as Minato simply chuckled. Meanwhile, at the gates of Konoha, "Finally," Mito said, as Mito and Narumi has grown in the past 3 years, as the both of them are at the gate. As the guards were surprised, "Mito? Narumi?" said Izumo. "Yeah, it's us," said Mito. "Whoa, you two have really grown," he said. "Happy to see the both of you," said Katetsu. "So, how are things since we left the village?" "Well, things haven't changed that much. But you will just have to see it for yourself," said Izumo. As Mito smiled, "I wonder what mom and dad is doing right now," she said. Sometime later, the entire group of the Akatsuki was gathered, as all of them were wearing their Akatsuki robe. Naruto was standing, as Liz was on his left, Menma was on his right. The rest of the members standing there, as Tendo Pain was standing at the front. "Today is the day we start the operation," he said. "It has been 3 years. And today is the day we finally succeed with all of our plans. 6 tailed beasts are out there, ready to be captured. You all know your assigned targets. So go," he said, "and do not fail." As all of them headed off, as Naruto and the others walked outside, as Naruto looked down, as they were on a cliff, as he took in a deep breath. "Prepare yourself, world," he said, "because Uchiha Naruto is coming." But guys, in the end of this episode right here, if you want the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn that bell notifications stay posted. Remember to share to all of your friends in social media platform and stay in tune for the rest of what is coming your way. And I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. But for now, Motivir, peace.